It's not only about data, performance, applications, infrastructure. It's more about organizations, ethics, and strategy and resources. I'm Martin Gerritsen. I'm from the Netherlands, a long way. But I will tell you a little bit about smarter business AI, and I try to have live demos for you. So let's see how it works. Let's first introduce Intwo. We are a global company. We are Microsoft Inner Circle. We have offices in all around the world, from Singapore, India, Dubai, Amsterdam, my hometown, and we have the United States and Puerto Rico. So we're all over the place. We're doing about 400 customers in 40 countries. So pretty busy, but we love to do it. If I look to our, I'm the global VP for data and AI, so business AI and data. And these are our products. So we are helping customers in the journey to adapt in the strategic AI. So we're doing business scans, roadmaps, experiments, proof of concepts, data. AI without data is not a very good idea. So we help them to structure data and everything around it. Our vision. We really want to know you, and we really want to change your business processes to give you efficiency in AI. What we do is we bring the MIT model, so the Intwo AI maturity model, we bring that from the US to Europe and now to you. And if I look to AI, it's not only about the technical parts. So it's not only about data, performance, applications, infrastructure. It's more about organizations, ethics, and strategy and resources. So we bring it all together in a different model and give you the guidelines how you be a real data and AI company. We do that by bringing you the AI business scan, where we bring you this model to your organization by workshops, interviews, and give you the right guidelines and proof of concept, how you can go from discovery, value matrix to a roadmap. This is an example of a roadmap. So what we will do is identify different AI use cases for you as a company and map them to the business value against complexity. So complexity means not only technical complexity, but also the organization complexity. On the other hand, we have the business value, low business value, high complexity. So what we normally say, don't do this one. Don't start with that one. You better go to the green ones. That are the easy ones. So how we identify the different AI use cases. So what I will do today is give you some examples what we do. And this is one of the biggest companies in the Netherlands who builds buildings. Now, you in Dubai know how to build buildings, but we also know a little bit about it. So what they do is building internally, externally, the buildings. They're the problem because they want to grow. They want to have, and they double their revenue, but they couldn't find the people. So they approach us and say, okay, how can AI help me to do the things normally our people do in AI? So we've been through their processes, looked into it, and the biggest challenge was the calculation process. So they get all this information, and then they do the calculation, and then they go to the engineering side or the construction side. So what we built for them is an AI calculation engine. I'm going to show you. What we create was an own environment, an own AI environment on Azure OpenAI. and with their own security in it. So they were able to log in and look at their own screens. So what we did was connect that Open Azure, Azure OpenAI to their different systems, and they feed data, and we're gonna ask the data about the calculations or everything what's around it. So they create projects, and based on the projects, they start a conversation. Like, can you give me more details about a certain product? And it starts now to build an SQL statement with AI to talk to the data. And what you see here now is that it couldn't find any data. But I show you how we're going to manage that. So what he did was in natural language, translate the natural language to SQL statement. And the SQL statement is fired to the database and it gives some results back. We use AI to generate this SQL statement. So now you are able to talk to your data. But that was not a good question because we had the wrong source. So what we normally do is, can you use not only budget data? And now what he's doing, because in the standard way, he only looks to the data of the budgets. That's the most information. And what he's doing now is going to another source. So he's rejected himself and go to another source. So what he's doing is saying, okay, now I found the real data behind what you're asking. If I go to the SQL statement, he generates an SQL statement again. He has some results and he fires it back and translates it to natural language. So the whole idea of this solution is that you have a lot of data. You normally go to your IT department and say, I need dashboards. I need this information for my data. And nowadays, it's just talking to natural language to your data. It's translated to an SQL statement. The SQL statement is fired to the data, and then it's bringing back and translated back to natural language. So they're able to talk to the data in natural language. So what's behind this is Azure and OpenAI. The front end is built with Power Platform. There's a normal front end. It's Azure OpenAI, and it used 3 different LLMs models behind it. So it's firing the question to OpenAI. He's translated it to an SQL statement. The SQL statement is fired to Gemini, and Gemini is controlling OpenAI, and then it's firing back to Azure. So there's a loop in it. It was not easy to learn the AI, how to work with this, but finally we managed to get real SQL statements behind it. And what we did is also give them a feedback loop, not only thumbs up, thumbs down, but also give them the possibility is this is a real bad answer. Now it's feeding back this information, this sentence, to the AI agent, and it start learning itself. Oh, that was not a very good idea. So how much information you gave to the AI agent, back in its case. So really teach people to give them the right information. It also generates dashboards. It's also AI driven. Where it's per project, you can see what's the pre and the post. So how are you doing in your project? It's also based on the same principles. So it's firing and generating a SQL statement, firing it to the AI engine. The next use case is one of the biggest agents in Holland, marketing agents. And their problem was that they collect a lot of data from their customers, and then they have to collect this data, interpret this data, analyze this data, and then bring it to good marketing campaigns. So what we did for them is generate again an open Azure AI environment, completely controlled by themselves, so they can make their own users and security, everything behind it. And they're able to upload projects on documentations. And based on the documentations, they can start a conversation with their data. So, for example, say you give me the width interior. So now what is he doing? This is a RAG model. So it's based on RAG. So what he's doing now is starting reading the documents and make it a little ones, split it up, and try to find an answer in all this project, all these different documentations, and find a good answer. That takes a while. Because normally you have to read all the documents by yourself, find out which criteria do we have, all these kinds of things. And now you really have to generate all these kinds of things. And the problem is with live data that you always have this kind of formats in your presentation. But yeah, there it is. So who's good in Dutch? Nobody. So it's generate an answer in Dutch, but I also can say can generate an answer in English. So what he did is read all the documents and find the right criteria, and also mention what the source was of the document. So now I want to ask, okay, how do I win this bit? So now he's generated the same documents and thinking, okay, how can we win this? And how did we do that? Is we connecting all the different RFPs and bids and wins and documentation and feed them back in the system. So you start learning from earlier RFPs and bids and all those kind of things. So you can ask this question. And it's saying, I don't know. I have no idea. So that's not a very good sign. So what we did is, okay, you can't find this answer in the documentation. And we put this in as a public source. If I push it button, then it's not only looking to the documentation, but it's also looking to the open public area. So now it's collecting the data from the inner, the documentation, but also collecting the data from outside. And now he's found the answer. So now he's able to find an answer based on the public data and the internal data. So you can use both. So differently than OpenAI, where you always use your open data, public data, in Copilot, where you use your own data. In this way, you can do both. Gives you more information. So you also can ask, can you give me estimation of the labor hours to realize this bit? So it really helps your sales teams to analyze the bits, how you can work with it, and all those kind of things. So what he's doing now is giving hours per different step in the presentation. It also gives you the source where he gets the information from, or it's public data, and then he gets. But how we catch this data is from the internal data, because we feed them with different plannings and estimation, so he's able to calculate that. Another thing we built in was it's not only about documentation, it's also about communication. So we built also the possibility in that you have the transcriptions you have with your customer. You also can use that one it generates your answers. So you not only can use your documentation, the previous documentation, but also building the transcriptions and your publications that you have with your customer. You also can generate a debrief document. So it's a summary of the document you will, all the documentations and transcriptions. And you can finally say, okay, generate a documentation based on different subjects, and finally also with your budget and training, how it works. So this gives you the possibility as an organization to really work on your data, your public data, your transactions, everything in there, and it gives you the possibility to have more efficiency in your sales and marketing process. It's a totally different pace, but it's also given you benefits as a user. I don't think you don't use this. No. Okay, I should finish up. But we have a booth here as Intwo just outside, and there are a couple of colleagues here, thankfully, so you always can go to them and ask a lot of questions. Happy to help you. Thank you so much.